Love staying informed? Subscribe now and get unlimited access to local news, weather, and sports for just 99 cents a month for your first 3 months at duluthnewstribune.news/join. Read every story, listen to every podcast, and download the apps that keep you informed on the go 24 hours a day. So head to duluthnewstribune.news/join right now to subscribe. What are you waiting for? You'll get 3 months of local news for just 99 cents a month at duluthnewstribune.news/join. Hello Northlanders, it's Friday, February 10th. I'm Wyatt Buckner with the Duluth News Tribune Minute, presented by Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union.
The average MPECU member saves over $785 a year in better rates and lower fees. And with MPECU, every ATM is your ATM. With their free checking program, you get ATM fee reimbursements at any ATM anywhere in the U.S. Check out Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union services online at mpecu.com or visit their offices in downtown Duluth, Arrowhead Road, or Miller Trunk Highway.
It's Friday, and if you're looking for some fun weekend ideas, Duluth News Tribune arts and entertainment reporter Jay Gabler has some options in this week's Best Bets.
We've been talking about this for quite a while, and now the day is here. The artists of Minnesota Ballet are making their debut in the depot space, now known as Studio 4. You formerly knew it as the Underground when Duluth Playhouse would put on shows there. The Playhouse is now consolidating its programming in the Historic Arts and Theater District, and Studio 4 is the province of the Minnesota Ballet dancers, as well as other artists who are going to be renting the space. The ballet program this weekend is called Forward. It's a showcase of new work happening tonight, Friday, and tomorrow, Saturday, at Studio 4 at the St. Louis County Depot. We're celebrating Black History Month in February, but there's an event happening tomorrow in Depot's Great Hall that is all about the future for Black business owners and other business owners of color in the Northland. It's the Northland BIPOC Business Showcase from 1 to 4 p.m. in the Depot's Great Hall. Over 20 local businesses will be on hand for shopping, entertainment, food, and more. That is tomorrow afternoon, Saturday, at the Depot. And hey, Valentine's Day is coming up next Tuesday, the 14th, and an artist with a beloved local history will be on stage at Sacred Heart Music Center. Her name is Haley. She's originally from South Dakota and currently based in St. Paul, but she really emerged up in the Duluth scene here about 20 years ago when she would play open mics and coffee houses and sort of rose to become one of Minnesota's best-known, best-loved singer-songwriters. She will be on stage for a special Valentine's show at Sacred Heart Music Center this coming Tuesday night. For more on these events and other best bets, check out duluthnewstribune.com. I'm Jay Gabler.
Now, here's a look at today's headlines. The company behind a proposed $400 million wood factory in Cohasset has pulled out of the project just days after a state appeals court reintroduced the prospect that the proposal could undergo a rigorous and lengthy environmental impact statement. Huber Engineered Woods, based in Charlotte, North Carolina, will take the project to another state, the company said in a news release Thursday. Huber President Brian Carlson said in a release, quote, "Due to delays that jeopardize our ability to meet product demand deadlines, we will pursue development of our 6th mill in another state." End quote. Huber planned to build an oriented strand board, or OSB, plant on 400 acres next to Minnesota Power's Boswell Energy Center in Cohasset. State and local officials heralded the project as potentially bringing in 158 much-needed jobs to the region, supporting the logging industry and helping offset the effects of Boswell going coal-free by 2035, and quickly promised millions in grants and loans for the plant. In a news release, Cohasset Mayor Annie McDonald said it was a devastating day. The project is designed to help replace lost jobs and tax base as Boswell winds down or converts non-coal sources. Tamara Lowney, the president of the Itasca Economic Development Corporation, told the News Tribune that Boswell accounts for 55% of Cohasset's tax base, 29% of Itasca County's tax base, and 16% of the Cohasset School District's tax base. Lowney said the project faced a number of hurdles, including political headwinds and legal challenges. She expressed frustration with the state and federal environmental and permitting processes, which she described as unpredictable with unclear timelines. The company and its supporters sought to avoid an environmental impact statement from the start. A facility of Huber's size, 800,000 square feet, would typically trigger an environmental impact statement, but the Minnesota legislature passed a law that specifically exempts the project from such a study. Last year, the city accepted a less stringent environmental assessment worksheet for the project, deeming an environmental impact statement, a rigorous review of the project's environmental effects and an examination of alternatives that could take about a year to complete, was unnecessary. But on Monday, the Minnesota Court of Appeals said there wasn't enough evidence to prove an environmental impact statement was unnecessary. While the court did not order an environmental impact statement, it did send the issue back to the city for reconsideration and to issue a revised decision on whether such a review was needed. Specifically, the court's decision cited the lack of evidence in two wetland-related issues, whether eliminating wetlands would trigger a mandatory environmental impact statement, and whether planned wetland filling would have significant environmental effects. The court largely sided with the Leech Lake Band of Ojibwe, which challenged the city's decision to forego the environmental impact statement. The band's reservation is just 1 mile from the project's proposed location, but the band has said it was not consulted before the project's announcement in 2021. The College of St. Scholastica in Duluth recently announced it has completed the most ambitious fundraising campaign in its history, amassing $62.6 million in support 5 months ahead of schedule. But it will need to raise the bar yet another $1 million in order to cover the rising projected cost of building a new student center. St. Scholastica launched its campaign in 2014 with the stated goal of raising $50 million, but the finish line continued to move when the college tacked an additional $12.6 million onto its mark in 2021 as the drive was extended. The anticipated finish date was June 30th of this year. In addition to supporting the construction of a new $17.5 million student center, the funds also will fund $5 million in student scholarships. Chris Mueller, the vice president for college advancement, told the News Tribune the project will involve not only the construction of a new 17,050 square foot student center attached to Mitchell Auditorium, but also the creation of a landscaped outdoor gathering space St. Scholastica will refer to as its campus quad. Now here's a look at your forecast, brought to you by the News Tribune's 20 Under 40 Awards.
Duluth area weather for today, sunny but kind of blustery and chilly with temperatures getting up into the low to mid-20s by this afternoon. Northwest winds becoming southwest around 10 to 20 and occasionally gusting a little higher. That wind will gradually settle down overnight with temps dropping into the lower teens, but the weekend looks pretty mild. Mostly sunny on Saturday, more clouds on Sunday. Both days will likely warm into the 30s. Still eyeballing a chance for snow next week around the middle of the week. I'm Storm Tracker meteorologist John Wheeler.
Thank you to the 20 Under 40 Awards for their support. Now is your chance to nominate someone younger than 40 who's making a positive impact in our Northland. Nominations are open through February 28th. Submit yours at duluthnewstribune.com/20under40. Reporting for today's episode was done by Jimmy Lovren and Peter Passy. Thank you for listening to Duluth News Tribune Minute. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday.